Hello and welcome to Feel Good Friday, week 3 of the 12-week personal development challenge. Feel Good Friday is all about taking all the information you've been looking at throughout the week, and we're going to start turning that into something positive to move forward with. Something that is going to bring about all those happy chemicals and set you in exactly the right place for the weekend so you can go out and have fun or stay at home and chill out. Whatever it is you want, the main thing is about achieving what you want rather than just suffering what life throws. So this week on Monday we talked about aromatherapy. I've got all the lovely oils in the picture here. Treat yourself to a good bath. It's a Friday afternoon, Friday evening. I've got my essential oils. I've got one here called Seventh Heaven. I bought this years ago. I very rarely use it. I think you can see the bottle is still 3/4 full. I very rarely use it in terms of the oil, but I'm always opening it and just it's got a luxurious scent to it. So aromatherapy, great for getting your head in the right place to start with. Go back and check out Monday's Mindful Motivation if you need a reset before you begin your Feel Good Friday. Tuesday we talked about mirror and using that mirror to ask questions yourself, reflecting on yourself from an objective viewpoint. On Wednesday we took that a step further with mind maps and about getting the thoughts that are all jumbled in your head out onto paper so you can see things objectively. Yesterday we talked about thanking yourself for things that you've been grateful for, and I talked about all the thousands of photographs that I've taken over the years. And today I want to talk to you about Feel Good Friday and using all of this week's reflection, and this is where it comes together, using all of this week's reflection to bring yourself into a really good, feel good mood for the weekend. So when you talk about aromas, like I said, the great mindfulness reset part is to get your head clear. Bring yourself to the present, here and now, so you can focus on the task in hand. For the mirror, what was it that you reflected on? What were the questions you asked yourself? And what were the answers that you came up with? Because if you asked yourself a positive question, did you get a positive answer? If you asked yourself something you're struggling with, did you resolve it? And use that knowledge to look at what you would like to achieve over this weekend to relieve any of that anxiety or to achieve what it was that you desired. So whichever way it works for you. Look at your mind map as well. If you did the mind map exercise from yesterday, do have a look at that and think, what is it that's a priority for you need to resolve or you need to let go of? Is there anything on that list? There might have been things you highlight as priority to resolve, but when you want to feel good over a weekend and you want to have a bit of a break maybe, also look at that list and is there something on there that actually is not really that important that you could let go of? That it's not really an issue. If it is an issue, leave it on there. Don't wipe things off and brush them under the carpet for no reason when they do need resolving. But again, use that to reflect on, is there anything on that list even where maybe the challenge on the list is that you miss doing something and it's no longer in your life, or you miss talking to somebody. Maybe you miss being able to get out, and we're in a position we can get out more. Your social life is a little quiet. Is there anything off that list you can do? And yesterday we talked about thanking yourself for anything that you've done to make your life better. So between all of those, what is there in this week's exercises that you can pick out, that has made you happy in the past? So today is all about reflecting on your past with a purpose of reminding yourself what makes you feel good. And sometimes we need that little reminder. What would you have done? Because it's so easy to get hooked up on the here and the now and all the stress and the worry and anxiety and the depression and the pressure of life, that it's easy to forget the things that you would have done in the past that made you feel good or made you feel happy or relaxed and chilled out, whichever way you want it to be. So looking at that, I think, is there something that you can bring back into your life to address the balance? Now when I talk about balance, let me just share something with you on the emotional cycle diagram. When we talk about balance, life is filled with moments And every moment will either be happy, sad or angry, and it's only when you get overloaded and there's too much red and blue, not enough yellow, you start to sink into depression in the black, when life gets really overwhelming. But on the whole, life is very colourful, and you will have a mixture of all colours in here. However, well, if you look at these 4 colours in terms of putting them on the scales to balance life, right, all the negative, so red, blue and black, will go on one end of the scales and yellow on the other. So you've got an unhappy end of the scales and a happy end. So for everything that is stressful in life, and you've got 3 colours on here that could be stressful, sad, angry, depressed, you then need 3 yellows to balance out one of each of the other colours. This is why resilience is so important. So if on your scales things are chucking on this end of the scale over here, red, yellow, blue, nobody's going to come along and say, oh, by the way, let me cheer you up, let me make things perfect for you, let me give you the winning lottery ticket this week, let me buy you a new car. You're going to have to be in a very fortunate situation to have all of that. So what it is you've got to balance that up. So when life will chuck everything on that end of the scales, guaranteed. On the negative end, life will throw everything in there. But it is down to you, and it is your choice and your purpose to put things on the other end to balance it out again. So you have to work hard at doing those extra little things to raise the dopamine, the serotonin, the oxytocin levels. All the happy chemicals need to be a balance in your life. And then it doesn't necessarily remove all the stressful and anxious situations in your life. But by having that balance in your chemistry, it makes them easier to deal with. And it also makes them easier to deal with when you know that, okay, I'm having a bit of a bad morning today rather than a bad week, but I'm going to have a better afternoon, or I've got better plans for this evening or the weekend. But when you have a stressful week and you've got nothing to look forward to, that stress is amplified. It's like looking at it through a microscope and going, wow, look how huge it looks. It's like looking at a little virus under a microscope and it looks like a big monster. So what we want to do is get things back into balance, bring them into normal focus, not amplified focus, by putting more on the lighter end of the scales and balancing them out. And that is why this week's reflection exercises are so important throughout the week, to look at the whole group of this week's challenges. Get your free tracker if need be, and check through all of week number 3 on YouTube. Go through the playlist and find all the videos for week number 3. There's 5 of them on there, with this one included. So look at the reflections of this week and use the task of mirror mirror and the talk of reflection to think about it this way, right? When you look in a mirror, you are looking forward. You're not looking back over your shoulder. You are looking forward. So looking in a mirror is, and using reflection, the same as when you're driving a car, you've got your little wing mirror on the side. You are using reflection to look back whilst keeping your focus going forward. And that is the purpose also of mental reflection. And reflection on your life and your goals and your challenges and your setbacks and everything that you want to achieve. It's much more important to do it with the same thought as though you're driving. You don't drive along going, oh, what's going on behind me? Or what's going on over there? You keep your focus forward, but you use the reflection in your mirrors to keep a track on what's going on behind you, because there are things to learn from what's going on behind, to avoid collisions coming up from behind when you don't see something's going to come and smack you around the head, or life's throwing you an extra curveball. You want to see it coming, right? And sometimes you need to see where you've been to see where you're going. So you think, oh, where did I just come from? Which way do I go, left or right? Or do I go straight over? Right? Directions are important, and reflections are important for direction. So remember, it's like keeping your eyes forward, but using reflections to keep an eye on what's already happened or what could be coming up behind you. But also to remember that there are some amazing things happened in your past, that you are an amazing person. What did you find from your past that you enjoy about you? All the great things that you would like to see come back into your life, that you would like to repurpose going forward, whether it is old hobbies. Maybe you want to bring back an old hobby. Maybe you want to contact an old friend. Go to somewhere you've been before. Do something you've done before. Whatever it is, use that reflection to redress the balance. So although there will be an element throughout this 12-week challenge of reducing stress and anxiety, just reducing them on their own is not enough. You have to put in the good side of life yourself. It is hard work sometimes, and believe me, I know when I've had days I've sat here and I have cried my eyes out because life is not going how I want it to. I know the feelings, so believe me, being an emotional awareness expert does not stop me having emotions. But what it does mean is that when I have the days when I'm stressed, I'm angry, I'm overwhelmed, and I hit depression, right? I know what I need to do to get myself back up here. I know what I need to do to face up to my problems, whether they are sad or angry problems. I know what I need to do to remotivate myself, to put myself back into a calm place rather than a deep sad place. So I get emotions just like everybody else. I'm going a longer video today, but you know what? This one is so important to round up this week, and it's starting to bring together the purpose of some of these exercises. And there's also a lot more from the previous 2 weeks as well, which you may find joined in here. But this week in particular, 5 small different tasks, but they add up to something much more powerful for building your resilience for going forward. So tag the playlist just for this week, or tag the playlist for the 12-week personal development program, and at any point you feel stuck again or you feel overwhelmed, make a point of tagging it on your save later, watch later playlist, or make your own playlist out of individual videos. There's a good idea. Make your own playlist. I talked at the beginning of the series about making up little cards. Anything that you find useful, pop on a card. Maybe that's one of them. Add it to playlist. So anything within the 12-week challenge that you don't want, don't add, but make your own playlist for the ones that you find useful. And use them. Go back to them. So anytime you are struggling, you're stuck, go back. They're all labelled, they're all tagged, they're all coded. You should know what to find. So reflecting on the image that I've put on screen today, because I do like to share something beautiful, go and have a nice hot soak in the bath, do a little bit of reading, have a nice coffee or a glass of wine if you want. It's Friday night, you can do whatever you want to do. Get those candles on and the aromatherapy going. So start off with Monday's mindful motivation and use that in your bath tonight, right? Do something. Even if you don't want to go to that extent, light a candle in your living room or something to just set your mind in that peaceful place ready for the weekend. And then very much like when you've had a hot bath and you've done that reflection and that wind down, you've cleaned your body, this is about cleaning your mind and clearing your mind ready for the weekend. Right, we all make the effort on a Friday night if you're going out to polish up everything else. Let's polish up that mind to go with it, and do that with the aromatherapy. The next bit is with your body. You'll go and you'll check and you'll put all your makeup on in the mirror, and then you'll go and put your clothes on and you check out, what do I look like? Am I ready? Am I looking gorgeous? You can do the same with your personality. Ask yourself that question in the mirror. Look at your mind map. See what your priorities are, right? Like you would then look at your text phone. Oh, who am I meeting first? Where are we meeting? And you plan your evenings out. That's it. That's if you go on evenings out. You might have a totally different thing of, okay, so we're going to have tea. Where are we getting a takeaway? What we're going to watch on the telly? Whatever your plans are, make sure these plans are all done with a purpose of feeling good. Heavy end of the scales for life tonight and this weekend. Make sure you put something on the positive end of life. Let me know in the chat below how you've got on with this. Let me know whether you have a great weekend and share with everybody all the successes. So I hope you have really found today's video helpful in starting to tie some of these exercises together. And if you've got this far and you've done everything in order, congratulations, you have just completed week 3. I was going to say 21 days, it's not because Monday to Friday, so that's 15 videos so far. Well done, I am proud of you, and you can put that down as another thing you should be pleased with about yourself for this week, that you've got to the 3rd week Friday feel good factor. Have a great weekend. See you all on Monday for another Mindful Motivation. Hugs and healing to you all. Bye bye.